Whatever happened to Ra? Ra has, for the most part of Smite, or at least for the last seasons, been a mage that was kind of there, he was present, but mostly not very highly prioritized. When it came to healers in Season 2, there were others that stood out more, especially Hell, and in Season 3 early on, we didn't see all too much of Ra. He was considered decent, but by no means a top pick when it came to mages, and as such rarely seen because there were just others that were always prioritized over him, be it Raijin or Scylla or Janus, for example. Ra has that benefit of having additional utility via healing, which always made him a bit of a valued pick, but still due to the lack of an escape and generally not performing overly well, he was most of the time kind of around the lower divisions and not that frequently picked overall. Recently, Ra, however, has seen a huge spike in popularity. In this video, we'll look at what led to this and go through the changes to the god, to the meta, and what else may have had an impact. First of all, let's look at the changes to Ra directly. In patch 3.4, Ra got a buff to his passive Speed of Light. The lifetime of his passive was increased from 10 seconds to 15 seconds, which was relatively strong given the amount of stacks that you need for it, or rather the fact that you were able to keep up the stacks easier with not being that dependent on spamming your abilities. So Ra overall was a lot faster when he needed to get away, which still didn't deter from the fact that he did not have a proper escape. Then, in patch 3.14, he got some scaling buffs. Celestial Beam received a scaling buff from 70% to 80%. The Mana Coal scaling was reduced significantly, going down to 60 on the first rank from 70 to up to 80 instead of 110, so a lot less mana spent on this ability. And Divine Light also got a scaling increase by 10% to 40. So overall, Ra got a bit more damage, and also that way a bit more punishment to those who tried to attack him, especially when it comes to Divine Light, a tool that was often used as his escape tool, even though it didn't really function the same way that other escape tools would. Additionally, there was a buff to Rod of Asclepius. Rod of Asclepius' bonus health was increased from 200 to 250, and the aura healing was increased from 20% to 25%. Now, Rod of Asclepius was not very popular beforehand. With these changes, it gained quite a fair bit of popularity, simply due to the fact that the healing and regeneration increase that this item offers is relatively strong and really helps certain characters, especially against anti-heal, because of the way that anti-heal works in Smite. In other games, when percentages work against each other, they're usually real percentages. In Smite, the percentages are just added and subtracted. So in case of Rod of Asclepius, this means that even if you were to have 100% anti-heal, you would still get healed for 25% of your original healing due to the Rod of Asclepius. In addition to that, most anti-heal items are currently not that highly valued. You will see the occasional Pestilence or Brawler's Beatstick for anti-heal, but especially Divine Rune is generally not considered worth picking up, and even Curse has gone down in popularity a little bit. Despite of all these changes, Ra still stayed under the radar. There are more things affecting his popularity spike. Scylla has gone out of the top tier meta. She's coming back slowly, but because of the fact that the early potions were removed in the season, Scylla is not quite as popular anymore. And Scylla is a god that can deal relatively well with Ra because she can burst him down before he can heal himself up, and she has a relatively good way of avoiding his ultimate snipe. There is a god who's even better at all this though, and that's Raijin. Raijin outclears Ra most of the time, he outpressures him because of that. He has a really strong escape with immunity frames that make it pretty much impossible to land Ra's ultimate on him, and he's just overall too much of a lane presence and too much of a burster for Ra to really deal with. As long as Ra is CC'd, he can't heal himself either, and that works in Raijin's favor as well. In patch 3.18, Raijin got nerfed. This nerf was probably the most significant out of all the nerfs he had gotten, because this nerf actually led to his win rates going down quite drastically and his popularity also going down. Obviously, he's not completely gone, but you will see a lot less of Raijin, especially with his burst damage not being quite as scary. Scylla is coming back a little bit, but both of them are not as strong as they have been at their strongest points in Season 3. So 2 very scary burst mages with good escapes are not necessarily the highest and only high tier anymore. Other mages have made it more into the meta, for example Vulcan, gods that are a bit more unusual like Kukulkan or Nox, or Isis coming back in general. Most of these mages still work relatively well against Ra. They don't have major issues against them for the most part, but still they don't perform quite as well as those heavy bursters. So, why the sudden spike in popularity, and why is Ra all of a sudden banned in ranked games? All these factors play into some extent. Ra has become a lot stronger over time and has kind of stayed under the radar, and mages that are strong against him not being as high in the meta obviously plays a major role as well, because it allows him to be picked without being as easily punished for this pick. The biggest impact to seeing Ra a lot more was still probably the best's performance on him in the SPL. The best plays for Igor, and he had some really good games on Ra where he really showed the full potential of the god, and this led to people wanting to pick up the god more, and when they picked him up they realized, hey, this god is a lot stronger now, his weaknesses are lower, he has more tools to survive a gank with the increased scaling, he generally performs very well, and we're currently in a healer meta where his general kit is just very favorable. You'll also see gods like Terra being picked a lot. Other healers don't really compete with that at the moment. For example, Hell just not working as well on earlier levels as Ra can. And Ra really doesn't have too much of a weak point in the game anymore. Obviously, he's more gankable early on and he has more problems there, but his clear is now good enough early enough. He has good mid-camp contestation if you use the ultimate. He has good enough sustain to get into mid-game, and from mid-game on he is extremely potent with his healing, especially out of combat. Often you will find yourself with your team engaging somewhere, losing health, backing out and healing up. That's why Guan is potent, that's why Terra is potent, and most of all, that is why Ra is so potent now. To sum it up, what changed was a few things about heal items, Rod of Asclepius specifically. Ra got some changes. Many mages that are strong against him have seen nerfs, and there was an outstanding performance by the best that really showed the full potential of this god and made him more popular in a meta that generally suits him anyways. Before I end this video, a quick note on something different. I have basically gotten to the next step of my Twitch partnership application, so I basically will be evaluated now, I think, for the next few days. If you want to support me, if you want to support my Twitch, please stop by tomorrow evening. I'll probably start around 7-8 p.m. CEST, as usual, daylight saving times included, and hopefully be able to get the partnership if my view numbers and stuff are right for the day, I assume. So if you want to support me, please stop by tomorrow, and then I'll be streaming again on Monday and Tuesday. With that, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for the next video or the stream. Either of those, up to you. Sloth, out.